everybody. Welcome to a special edition of the Cole Mirza Show. I am very proud to announce a special guest here today, Brendan Corbett. We are currently traveling to Mammoth Mountain, so very special edition. And how you doing, Brendan?
Doing well, Cole. It's a pleasure to be on this show. I've been waiting to come on. Very anticipated episode here. We got a lot to talk about.
We do.
So, where do you want to start?
Well, I think there's an elephant in the room right now in terms of one man that plays for the Cleveland Browns. You know who I'm talking about. It's Shedeur Sanders.
Of course.
Go ahead and tell me what you think of Shedeur Sanders after 1 year in the NFL.
So, it wasn't quite a full year. We'll start being drafted in the 5th round, where everyone thought he was going to be in the 1st or 2nd round. But you know how things go in the draft when GMs or people see something they don't like behavior, they can fall, and they can fall quickly. And sometimes there's not a rational reason to it. Like, you can think of like Aaron Rodgers just randomly falling. Compared to Alex Smith, like there wasn't really a skill issue there. There was just like whatever, something going on in the air. But yeah, so he picked him in the 5th round after Dylan Gabriel was picked in the 3rd round, which you never really see 2 rookie quarterbacks go to the same team. And then also Flacco and Kenny Pickett were in that QE room at the time. And during training camp, Shedeur wasn't getting any reps with the first team. He was like a 3rd string QB, which makes sense because he got drafted last and he was behind the veterans. So they had decided you can't keep 4 quarterbacks on your active roster. So, I mean, you can, but who would do that? So they traded Kenny Pickett preseason. Where did they trade him to? Was it the Eagles?
I think it was the Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders. Yeah, he was on the Eagles last year. Okay, so then Flacco started the season. Flacco got traded really quickly. The same Flacco from 2023. It was very evident that wasn't going to happen again. Really struggled on offense. And then Dylan Gabriel played until like week 11. And we saw a very short quarterback with not a good arm who had a lot of starts in college, so he knew how to manage a game, and he didn't turn the ball over a ton, but there was just like no upside there. Like, you're not gonna win a championship with Dylan Gabriel, let alone make the playoffs. So he's like a backup caliber quarterback at best. And Stefanski, like, the media rumors were like Dylan Gabriel was like Stefanski's pick. Like, it was his child. Like, he loves this kid. And he's getting dinners with him after games. Even after Shedeur started starting, it was rumored that they got dinner, and like he was like assuring him that like he would be okay in the long term, and just like, you know, he was always getting the first team reps all season long when he was starting. Shedeur, even though he was the backup quarterback, wasn't getting any reps with the first team. So when Dylan Gabriel got a concussion and Shedeur was sprung into action, Shedeur was not in a position to succeed. He was throwing passes to Jerry Jeudy for the first time all year. And thank God we were playing the Raiders that week, or else it would have been real bad. But yeah, I watched that game. I watched his first start, and he had some really nice throws. He rolled out right and threw a really deep ball to, I believe it was Isaiah Bond. And like, Dylan Gabriel's just not capable of that throw. It was impressive. And I think his mobility is a little bit better at the NFL level than some people expected. I think people saw him in college running around and thought there's no way he'll be able to do that in the NFL. Well, he has been able to elude some pressure which is important because he has arguably the worst offensive line in football, maybe top 3 worst. Now, we saw the Steelers game. We saw that play where he ran backwards and he threw a duck fart in the air and got picked. Remember that?
Yes.
So there's a lot of bonehead plays, and I think his overall record was 3-4 as a starter. We lost a close game to the Titans at home where he had 4 touchdowns, so that was a pretty good game. So I would say he had 4 successful games in a Stefanski scheme, which has been very unsuccessful for quarterbacks since he came to the Browns. Baker did okay for a couple of years, but it was more of the Nick Chubb show. And then we had Deshaun Watson, who never returned to form. And then Joe Flacco, which crumbled in the playoffs when we played a decent defense. So I'm not a fan of Stefanski. I'm not a fan of the receiver room. There's you got Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, David Njoku. The best receiver we had this year was a rookie tight end, Harold Fannin. And Shedeur looked like he had some good chemistry with him, because that was the only guy he was really throwing to all year in practice. So it makes sense that he actually looked good with him. And he's a beast of a tight end. So I'm excited for that. We definitely need to draft some receivers, help Shedeur out, get some O-linemen. And then I feel then we'll be able to make a fair judgment. And put him in a real NFL offense. The Stefanski scheme is the same as, it never evolves. It's the same every year, same plays. He scripts the opening drive and everything looks great, and then the rest of the game looks like crap. So I'm looking forward to seeing this offseason how Shedeur, how committed he is to his development. I like his interviews. I like the way he talks. I think there's some potential there. And for a 5th-round pick, it's a great pick. Dylan Gabriel, terrible pick. Terrible 3rd-round pick. I don't know, waste of a pick. So it'll be interesting. I think we need to bring in a veteran, bring some competition, and make sure to earn the job for week 1. And we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting draft and off season for the Browns. New head coach coming soon. Hopefully it's one of those young guys. I forget the name. The Rams passing coordinator. His name's Shula, yeah. And Grant Uladetsky from the Jags, the offensive coordinator. Both really young. I think Grant's 30. Last time I liked to use the favorite to get the job. So I would love to hire a young guy and just kind of put Shedeur in a more modern NFL offense, draft some more pieces, and then we'll really quickly be able to tell, okay, did he get better in the offseason? Is there potential here in the long term?
Yeah, it seems like you're taking a very sensible approach. You're not, glorifying Shedeur Sanders as if he's an amazing player, so I appreciate that. I agree with you. He had a very successful season for it being his first season. A lot of pressure on him, a lot of naysayers, including myself. I was on the record before the season saying some things about Shedeur. I said he'd get cut. I was concerned about the 4 QBs in the QB room. I didn't think that the 5th-round pick would be the one to stick around, but, it's a testament to Shedeur Sanders. The guy has some toughness, so I got to give him a lot of credit on that end, okay? But there's a but coming. The numbers were not impressive, and you know this. Now, yes, you did allude to that he doesn't have a good O-line. His receiving room is not good either, so he doesn't have much help. And it's just the first year, and he didn't get to get any reps with the first team until, it was whatever week it was when they started him against the Raiders. So he wasn't set up for success. I guess Stefanski was favoring Dylan Gabriel. I actually never heard that, but that's kind of crazy coming from a Cleveland Browns, someone who's inside the Cleveland Browns camp like you are. That is very interesting. So, yeah, I mean, these numbers, 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions for Shedeur.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, just to touch on the favoring Dylan Gabriel a little more, because I think that's kind of the interesting part of this whole discussion is, I mean, we just saw it. We just saw it proven that Stefanski, he's done this before with favoring other quarterbacks or quarterbacks losing his favor. We just saw Baker Mayfield very publicly call him out for basically treating him like a piece of garbage and shipping him away, and he's never been reached out to from his previous coach since.
Wow.
That he spent multiple years with.